Okay, good morning children. कैसे हैं आप लोग? Well, today we are going for another interesting session regarding the female reproductive part in the flower. The last session we were dealing about the male reproductive system in the flower. That's regarding the androecium and various events. And today we were going to talk about the gynoecium. Well, children. So female reproductive part in the flower. So please listen very carefully. Right now, the female reproductive part is said to be the gynoecium. Said to be the gynoecium. So gynoecium is said to be the female reproductive part. The gynoecium, if you are able to see that, it is in the flower. You will see in the flower. Okay. So along, what we can see that in the case of homothallic or heterothallic, whatever the conditions may be there in the plant, the flower may be consisting of both the bisexual state or is in the unisexual state also. So along with the androecium, the gynoecium is also seen. Now this gynoecium, children, if it is found, suppose let us take in the case of a hibiscus flower, right? I think you have done in the practicals, hibiscus flower. And the hibiscus flower, if you see, there is the presence of hibiscus. If you see, it will be found like this, isn't it? Be found like this, because hibiscus you will find it like this, isn't it? Now this is the gynoecium. Now when you see, there's a lot of the filament like structures which is present here on the top of this particular tube like structure, right? Now these structures what you are seeing here are many, isn't it? This condition is what is called as multicarpellary. They are multicarpellary. This is multicarpellary condition. In some plants, they may be having only single carpel. That means the carpel is the one which we are talking about, is what is present in the gynoecium. So gynoecium may be having a single carpel or many carpel. So as you see in the case of hibiscus, this is in the case of hibiscus, you can see that this condition, you can see this is a multicarpellary condition. If it is a multicarpellary condition, children, it can be of two types. Whether the carpels are fused, or carpels are free. Are you able to understand? So gynoecium, it is either consisting of a unicarpellary, that means monocarpellary condition, or multicarpellary condition. If it is a multicarpellary condition, it may be carpels may be fused or carpels may be free. Carpels are fused. If you are saying that carpels are free, carpels are fused, that thing you can see like this. Condition you will see, and they are completely fused. They are completely fused here. They are completely fused. This is the condition what you find if it is a fused. If it is a free, as you see in this case, if it is a free, if it is free like this, see they are free. They are fused here. Carpels are fused, as you see in this case, and they are free here. The fused, we say that as syncarpus. If they are fused, we say the condition as syncarpus. You have the word syngamy. Somewhere you heard syngamy. What is the meaning of syngamy? The fusion of gametes. So the same word syn means the is called as fused. Carpels are free. Here we call it as apocarpus condition. Apocarpus condition. So what are the examples we can give, children? We can give the examples for syncarpus. We can give the examples of what? You can say for tomato. Okay, we can give the example of tomato, and we can give that example. For apocarpus, we can give Michelia. You can give the example of Michelia. So this shows a syncarpus condition and a apocarpus condition. Now, so what is a carpel? So carpel is said to be the unit of the gynoecium. There is another name for carpel, that's called as pistil. What, children? It's called pistil. So the other name of carpel, it's also called as pistil. So what is this pistil is consisting of? So we saw in the last class, stamen we say. What are the parts of the stamen? It has a long stalk-like structure, that's called the filament, and the other thing is called as anther. Just like that, the pistil, they have the structures what you can see here. You can also draw it here, as you would have recalled from your class 10 standard book also. So you find like this, and you will find a structure like this. Now what is this is called as a pistil. What are the various parts they have? The swollen part which is present at the base, it is said to be the ovary. And this is called the style. And you find the topmost part which is little bit flat like structure, that's called as the stigma. And surrounding to this we find the thalamus. And this is your thalamus here. So these are the parts of the pistil. So pistil actually comprising, we need not talk about the thalamus, the three prominent parts. The swollen part which is base, that is the ovary. Thus we have the long filament like structure, is called style, and there is a flat like structure which is in the tip, that's called as the stigma. Right. So these are the regions of the pistil. Right, children. Now we are going to talk about the ovary. What does the ovary encloses? Now we are talking about the ovary. What is the ovary encloses? The ovary encloses in the walls, you can say, if you recall from the class 11th, we studied about a topic called placentation. What's called the placentation? That's the different types of arrangement of ovules inside the ovary. So we have many types. What are the marginal, basal, axial, parietal, free central? We have these are the different types of placentations. Now, just recall what we studied in class 11th. Now, inside the ovary, the walls, if you see, what is present is, we will find the presence of the ovule. So, the ovule structure, you can draw. This is the wall of the ovary wall, and it is present here. Alright, and then it covers. This is the structures what you will find here in the ovary. This is what is attached here, you will find here, and there is a structure present here. Inside this, you will find the prominent body forming inside this. Fine, children. Now, you can see this is how the structure. Now, This is the ovule. This is the ovule. What is present here? This is the ovule, right? This is the ovule structure. What is present here? And this is attached to the stalk-like structure. The stalk-like structure, which is attached to the ovary wall here. This is called as the funicle. This is called the funicle. And you find this is the ovule here, right? This ovule structure, right? You can draw like this also, right? This is all the structures. So the ovule, it is attached to the funicle by another structure here that helps the ovule to attach to the funicle. So funicle is a structure which attaches the ovule to the placenta. So where is the placenta? This is a small protuberance which will form inside the wall of the ovary, and from where the growth is said to be formed. So the funicle will attach the ovule. The ovule is attached to the funicle by the help of hilum. It's called as hilum. Okay, so funicle is the structure where the ovule is attached to the placenta, and hilum is the structure which attaches this ovule to the funicle. And children, you are able to see two walls, two layers here, protective layers are there. This is the ovule here, and this is the ovule structure here, what you can see here. Now there are two protective structures are seen here. Two protective structures. This is called the outer structure and this is the inner structure. This is called as integuments. These are called as integuments. So we have an outer layer and an inner layer. And this is the ovule, what we can say. Now in the ovule, within these layers, inner to the inner integument, we will find many cells are formed here. We will find many cells are formed here. There is a tissues that is formed, which is present inside the inner layer, right? And this name of this tissue is called as nucellus. This is called as nucellus, right, children? So this nucellus is the one which actually helps in the development of megaspore. Okay, it's development of the megaspore. The nucellus will help, and so in this part we be having some sporogenous tissue is present. Some sporogenous tissue is present here, just like that you studied in the case of the microsporangium. What is the microsporangium? That is the pollen sacs. Inside the microsporangium also you had a sporogenous tissue. That sporogenous tissue, it multiplied and formed the pollen mother cell. Do you remember that? Just like that, inside this ovule also we will have a sporogenous tissue. The sporogenous tissue we can also call it as archisporium also we can call. Okay, this sporogenous tissue is also called as archisporium or archosporial cells, or sporial cells also we can call. So this is what is present inside this particular one, which is enclosed by the nucellus. So nucellus is a nutritive tissue here. What is the nutritive tissue in the case of the pollen sacs? It's called tapetum. So just like that you have to remember. So this is the nutritive tissue. Let me write it here. This is the nutritive tissue. This is the nutritive tissue that helps the development of this megaspore. Well, children, now how this megaspore is being formed? Now just recall what we discussed in the last class. I told you that there are two phases or two parts in the plant. One is set with the gametophyte, another set with the sporophyte. Now in the plant we have what is called as a sporophyte is present. What does the sporophyte give rise to, my dear? Sporangium. And the sporangium is produced by some structure which actually bears that sporangium. That's nothing but a carpel. Okay, now we are just coming to the subject. Little deeply you are analyzing. Always study, children. Any topic that you take in biology, you should have in-depth knowledge. Always better. If it is better, then you can easily qualify the NEET exams. It's not a big, it doesn't form any hassle for you. It easily clear the NEET exams. Only thing is you should have in-depth knowledge. Okay, children. Now just follow my class now. Very carefully. Now I said you the carpel here. Okay. So carpel is the unit of the gynoecium. Gynoecium is what is called the female reproductive part of the flower. Now this carpel is set up the unit. It's also called as a pistil. Pistil has got the three parts. What are they? Ovary, style and stigma. I think you are remembering all the three parts is called as pistil. Right. Now this carpel is part of the sporophyte. Okay. Now in the carpel, the ovary in which it's part, ovary is also a part of this carpel, isn't it? The carpel is a whole part. Now this carpel is where the megaspore should produced, isn't it? Sporophyte, sporangium, spore. Always remember that. So we have to now name what is that Magasporangium and who is bearing that Magasporangium and what is that megaspore. So the Magasporangium is borne by a structure which is called as carpel. So what is the name that you give for this carpel? This carpel is now known as megasporophyll. Are you getting point, children? So I'll use a different color here for clear understanding. So carpel is known as the megasporophyll. You remember in class 11th in the gymnosperms also we studied, right? Now we say strobili. Right. Now here the megasporophyll is what is called as carpel. Now what did I tell you? This sporophyll should produce what? Sporangium. Then it is producing the sporangium. Let me use this. It is producing sporangium. What is the sporangium? Magasporangium. It is producing the Magasporangium. So what is that Magasporangium that is called as in the flower? That's nothing but, very good, yes. That's nothing but called as ovule. Very good. That is called as ovule. So the ovule structure. So this is the structure of the ovule. So we can say this is the illus of ovule. And the ovule has got these following parts. So ovule is otherwise called as Magasporangium. So inside this Magasporangium, these are the following parts that it contains. Is it clear now? Now, further, we will studying about the ovule. The topic is not yet over, children. Well, I hope you are writing now. Fine. Now, this I said you. Now this is the ovule structure here. The ovule is attached to the placenta by help of the funicle, I said you, and to the funicle with help of the hilum. And there are two protective layers which is actually protecting this structure. Okay, the two protective layers is called as integuments. Inner to the integuments we have a mass of tissues. What is it called as? Nucellus. And nucellus is a nutritive tissue. It is helping the development of, in the Magasporangium, what should be developed? Megaspore. So for the development of the megaspore, this nucellus will support. It is a supporting tissue. So now, what is this tip-like structure? It is just like you see that it is just opened here, tip-like structure which is just opened. What is the opening here? That is called, children, this opening is what is called as micropyle. It is called as micropyle. Here tip-like structure, that's called as a micropyle. That actually allows that pollen tube to enter through that. So it is an opening which actually facilitate or through which the pollen tube enters. So pollen tube is called as the male gametophyte. Okay, that all we learn in pollination and fertilization, we learn slowly. So the micropyle, this is the tip portion, what you can see here. Now, opposite to this micropyle, children, there is an end here. This end you can see here. Opposite to the micropyle. This end is what is called as chalasa. This is called as chalasa. Or chala, C-H-A-L-A-Z-A. It's called chalasa. So these are the various parts that you see in the ovule. Now, depending upon the position of the micropyle, the ovules are classified into many types. Let us go very strictly with the NCERT syllabus. This ovule which is very close to the funicle, you can say that this is called as anatropous ovule. This is called as anatropous ovule. Anatropous ovule. Okay, it is called anatropous ovule. Anatropous ovule. You can say that it is called anatropous ovule. So we also have other type of ovules also depending upon the position of the micropyle. If the micropyle and chalasal all are in the straight line, suppose. Okay, so we also have like this. Suppose we have ovule like this also. Okay. And you find the funicle is present here, you see. It's far away from this. And this micropyle and chalasal. This is the chalasal end. This is the chalasal end. And this is the micropyle. Suppose you are finding like this. The ovule is present like this, all in the straight line. Then this is called as orthotropous ovule. Orthotropous ovule, right? This is called as orthotropous ovule. Is it clear, children? Well, so what did we learn today in the class? Today we learned that what are the various parts of the carpel, right? The carpel is a part of the gynoecium. So gynoecium may have many carpels or a single carpel. Single carpel also may be present or multicarpal. If it's multicarpellary, then it may be of two types. What is that? Syncarpus or apocarpus. Syncarpus means, you remember the syngamy. So fused. So fused condition you can find. And if they are free, then it's called as apocarpus condition. So carpel is a unit of gynoecium. So carpel is also called as a pistil. What are the parts of the pistils, children? Ovary, style and stigma. And inside the ovary, what do you find? You find the ovule. And what is the various parts of the ovule that we find? We find that the ovule is attached to the placenta by help of a funicle. And to the funicle, the ovule is attached by the hilum. And there are two protective layers which protects this structure, that's called as integuments. And there is an opening which is pointing, it depends upon the position of the ovule, that is called as micropyle. And opposite to the micropyle, we have another end is called as nucellus. And this development of the archisporium cells, okay, that's just like your sporogenous tissue. They are protected by means of or supported by the nucellus. So nucellus is said to be the nutritive tissue. Now whatever we are familiarizing with carpel, it's called as megasporophyll. And megasporophyll should bear the megasporangium. So megasporangium is called as the ovule. Now inside the ovule, the megaspore is developed. How the megaspore is developed inside the ovule, that we will see in the next class. Bye children.